Happy Friday, Amera First, and good morning to Ameritrust on the West Coast. Buenos dias, Amero Uno. We are happy for today's hour of power, and I did just send an email out to all of the originators here that are part of the Amera First community. Eric's going to show you in a second how to get to the presentation model that we need you to get to, but you can also get to it from the email I sent about 5 minutes ago. So feel free to check those emails, forward them to your agents. Maybe you're sitting together as a group, whatever the case may be. Again, we will show you here in a second how to get to it as well. Anyway, onward with the show. Today, it's a special treat to have Eric here, Eric Sachs. He is the founder of Breakthrough Broker, and he has helped over 600,000 agents currently, and helping them with so many things, one of which people have a real struggle with sometimes, and that's planning. And without business planning for 2022, and really keeping yourself accountable for your successes, and sometimes more importantly, your failures, it's really important. And if you don't have a plan, it really is can be detrimental to your business. So we are really excited to have Eric with us again. He's a great friend and business partner of ours, and we look forward to today's program. So without further ado, Eric, where in the world do we get started with planning for 2022?
Well, first of all, thanks for inviting me. This is awesome, guys. I'm always happy to do this with you. You're a great group of people in the industry, so I love working with you guys. Business planning is something I'm super passionate about because, and I think it's important for me to tell this group where I come from, because I had a pet peeve. When I was selling, I would go to these classes and guys and gals would be up front trying to teach me how to sell more homes, and they'd never sold a home before. So it used to drive me crazy. So I like to tell everybody that I come from real estate. I had a top producing team here in Colorado, loved what I did. So I opened a brokerage, grew that to about 120 realtors. We were acquired by a large national franchise, and I didn't want to work for them. It was like a couple thousand realtors. So signed a non-compete, couldn't sell for a while. So we started breakthroughbroker.com 10 years ago, February, 600,000 realtors later, and a lot of business planning classes. So I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm excited to talk about this today with this group and really dive into something that's difficult. And I say that because a lot of these webinars are lectures. Well, this is actually a workshop. So I have good news and bad news to everyone who came. The good news is you're going to leave with your business. You're going to actually know how many homes you need to sell to make the money you want to make to bring home to your family. The hard part is that it takes some work. It's weird. It's a 40-minute class of working with you guys. Some of you are going to work faster than I work. Some are going to work slower. Don't get frustrated. Stick with me. We do our business plan backwards too. So also, if you're like, where's he headed with this? Stick with me. Also, we'll get there. Okay. So this will be fun. It'll also be difficult because we have to work on some difficult concepts and some math actually. And so for you realtors on here, if you hate math as much as I do, I know you finance people don't, but I do. So we'll get through this. I'm going to share my screen. Again, thanks for having me, guys, and we're going to get rocking and rolling into this platform. So it's our 2022 business plan. And the first thing I would love for you guys to do is follow along if you can. So go to www.breakthroughbroker.com, www.breakthroughbroker.com. I'm going to give you a second. If you're not part of Breakthrough Broker, create a profile. It's free. It takes 2 seconds. Okay, it's truly free. Once you're there in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to type in business plan. All right. Breakthroughbroker.com, type in business plan. Once you're there, you're going to click on it and you'll find our 2022 success plan. I would like you to download it. Now I'm going to talk for a few minutes while you guys are downloading this business plan, and we're going to keep rocking and rolling. Okay. But what I want you to do is download the business plan. And once you've downloaded that business plan, if you can't do that, I want you to set a piece of paper on the side because we're going to write this out. All right. You can follow me and write it out on a scratch piece of paper, but I don't want you listening without taking action today. Okay. Again, I don't want you listening without taking action today. So we're going to get through the business plan. We're going to download it. Okay. I'm going to give you guys a minute or two. I want you guys to take your time. I want you to work with me through this. And if I'm going too fast, I'll get there. It's being recorded. If I'm going too slow, don't go ahead, because I want to talk about some concepts with you guys on what we're doing here. And we'll keep getting this out, okay? If you've downloaded the business plan, and once you have, or if you haven't, but you're using a scratch piece of paper on the side, when you see a Breakthrough Broker logo, we're going to take that number and we're going to transfer that number to our one-page business plan. All right. So if you could pull out 2 scratch pieces of paper, one is for our one-page plan. That'll be our plan when we're done. One is for all of the workbook style. Okay. So take out 2 pieces of paper. I know you're like, paper and a pen. What year is this? Right? It's fine. I'm old school. We're going to write this out. Okay. So we're going to keep going. This is what our business plan is going to look like when we're done today. We're going to, at the very bottom, sorry guys, I'm at home, so you are going to hear my dogs bark. I apologize. They're getting ready to. I see him looking like he's going to bark in 2 seconds. On the bottom of our business plan, all right, you're going to have number of listing appointments needed per month to make the money you want to make this year, and you're going to have buy sides. Okay, we're going to focus on that at the end. We're going to talk about this a little bit, but we're going to get there through a certain amount of calculation. Okay, so pull out your phones, get your calculators ready. This is typically when I'm doing a big webinar on this and I'm watching the attendees, I pull this out and people start dropping off like flies. Don't, stick with me, please. I know you're like math, and guys, I got to be honest with you. And I told the gentleman on the call, about 10% of realtors actually do a written, measurable business plan. I say measurable because we got to pull it out every month or every quarter and see if we're getting to where we want to go. 10%. So this is crazy, guys. I speak all over the country, and I go in June. I always ask my classes, who's got their business plan done? Everyone raises their hand, and I'm like, really, who's really got their business plan done? And then like half raise their hand, and I'm like, no, really? And about 10% all the time. So I applaud you guys for either watching this video or being here today to get this done. And then we can focus on that success. There's no successful business in America that doesn't create a measurable roadmap, a plan to get there, right? But as realtors, we feel like we can get it done. We might have had success in past years without a plan, and so we just keep going. And I think I would say, if there's one thing I would kick myself in the butt for when I was selling, was not doing my business plan earlier in my career better. We started doing this about halfway through our career, and we saw a huge benefit. So let's get rocking and rolling. First thing we are going to do is we are going to calculate our monthly personal outgoing expenses. Okay. Now, not your business. We'll get there later. Your personal expenses. And right now is not time to be an overthinker. If you like, I don't know, or I don't have that invoice or that bill, I don't care. Guess. All right. This is important for us to have this baseline number of our outgoing personal expenses. Okay. And I'm talking mortgage and car payments and gas every month and maintenance and car insurance and medical insurance and electric, water, entertainment, travel, all of that stuff. Your kids' soccer payments and taekwondo and dance. My kids were in dance. It was so expensive. So all of that, we're going to take a minute to calculate this. I wish I had music to play. It's always this awkward silence on these. Guys, this is the hardest class to teach, bar none, because I can't see your body language. I can't see if you're with me, if you're not with me. I can't see if you've caught up or not caught up, or you understand or don't understand. So use the Q&A in the webinar to ask questions. The guys are monitoring it. Use the Q&A to clarify, all right? And we're here. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate the feedback. You got it. So guys, work on this, okay? Work on this. We're going to calculate our monthly total. I'm giving you guys a minute or two.
We've got I got a question here, Eric, about what is the site again?
It's
Back to,
www.breakthroughbroker.com. So I might be able to type an answer to that.
oh yeah, we should be able to do that, and should be able to provide that link. Also, and apparently downloading the template is slow in some places, so
Interesting.
doing it the old-fashioned way, as you said.
Perfect. Thanks, Michelle, for letting me know. I just downloaded it too, and it worked good, but I'll check the speed on the site here when we get off. Make sure you download the interactive template might be slow. The PDF shouldn't be slow. Thanks, Michelle. All right, guys. When we're done calculating this, we're going to have our, let's just say my total monthly expenses outgoing are $8,100 a month or $97,200 a year. So that's that. And I have a kid in school in New York City in Manhattan. So if you can only imagine, anyone on the call from Manhattan, so expensive, it's ridiculous. And then my daughter's going to school in LA next year. So I got to keep working hard doing a lot of these business planning classes. 97,200 outgoing personal expenses for me. If we put that out there, you guys, I want you to calculate that. I'm going to wait a second until everyone's got this ready to go. We have all our personal outgoing expenses calculated. And what we're going to do is we're going to take an arbitrary number, knowing what we have outgoing personally. So for me, I want to say that I want to make $160,000 next year, knowing that I have 97,000 outgoing, which will give me 63,000 in discretionary income to save, to travel, to buy, to do whatever I want, invest. So I want, knowing that I have 97,000 going out, I want to bring in 160. That was just arbitrary. Okay. So let's say I want to bring in 160 in order to have 63,000 in discretionary income at the end of 2022 for savings, investment, travel, whatever we want to do. All right. If you're doing it on scratch paper, this goes at the top, 160 at the top. All right. Now for realtors, we're notoriously poor at paying our taxes. So we have to remember that we have to pay Uncle Sam. So we're going to add in to this number that we want to bring home our taxable income, what we have to make to pay taxes and bring home 160,000 to my sphere of influence, or to my family. Sorry. I was actually thinking of our marketing later that we're going to talk about at the end. 160,000 so I can make 63 at the end of the year, discretionary income. So how we're going to do that is we're going to calculate our taxes. Okay. Here in our example, I'm saying that maybe I'm in the 30% tax bracket, and there's a little formula here that we'll follow to get our taxable income. Okay. So we're putting 160 up at the top on our one-page business plan, and we're going to calculate our taxable income. So let's just say I'm in the 25% tax bracket. You put 25. If you're in the 30%, you put 30. Okay. If you're in 35, you put 35. If you're in 20, you put 20. We're going to divide that by 100, and we get this decimal. We bring it over to line B, and we do 1 minus that, and we get 0.75. You'll get a decimal there. You'll bring it down. Okay. We'll take our target take-home income. That's what we arbitrarily decided we wanted to bring home to our family, knowing what our outgoing personal expenses are. And we're going to come up with this number. What you're seeing there is what I have to make in order to pay taxes and then bring home 160,000 to my family. So I got an itchy tongue. So again, we're looking at this differently than some of us have looked at this before. Sometimes I teach this and people are texting me, oh my gosh, I've never looked at my business like this. I didn't know how much I had to sell. We're going to keep going. We're going to add into this. And for you AmeriFirst people out there, this is being recorded. So this is a perfect opportunity for you guys to watch it, understand it, download it, get a group of your partners, your realtor partners together, sit and watch this or do this with them at a later date. So we're gonna keep talking. We're gonna go slow. We're gonna work through this the whole time. Okay. Our taxable income for me is 213. How's everyone doing? Are we good? Are we with me? Are we together here? Again, it's the
I
cadence.
know I am, Eric.
Cadence is difficult because some of us are quicker than others. And if you're not with me, we will catch up. If you are with me, I will catch up to you too if you're ahead of me. The next
Michelle and
part,
Jen have indicated they're both good.
I got it. I saw that. The the next part is the most difficult part of the whole class because as realtors, we have different brokerage scenarios. Okay. When I owned my brokerage, we were on a 70-30, meaning the realtor kept 70% and they gave 30% to the brokerage for all of that paid into the company. And then we had a cap. So you'd only pay a certain amount in. Some of you may have flat fees. Some of you may just have a cap. Some may have all kinds of convoluted brokerage relationships. So we're going to work on this now for the next 5, 6, 7 minutes. We're going to calculate what we have to put into our brokerage now. So remember, I have to make 213 to pay my taxes, to bring home 160, to make 63 to play with next year. Okay. So I'm going to keep going. I don't know who's messaging me, but it's so annoying. Now, part 2, page 6, if you're with me. We're going to add our brokerage commission split. So what you're seeing in this example here is 20% commission split. That's like an 80-20, traditionally commonly known as a commission split. We take what we're giving to our brokerage and we divide it by 100. We get a decimal. We do the same thing down here in B, 1 minus that decimal. We bring it over, okay? And now we have what we have to pay into the company and pay taxes, okay? So we also have the ability to put a cap split in there. So we're going to go to page 7 and we're going to calculate this right now, okay? I also see a lot of people drop off during this time too, so don't drop off. I'm watching you. I'm on a 20% split, meaning I keep 80, my brokerage takes 20, all right? So I do the math and I come down to line B and I have 0.20 here and I'm in now. I'm going to take my taxable income of 213,000. I'm going to divide it by 0.8 because that's what I have to put into my brokerage. And now I need to make $266,000. Okay. $266,000 to pay my brokerage, pay my taxes, bring home 160 for my family. Okay. That starts to look at this point. A lot of realtors tell me, oh my gosh, I've never looked at it this way. I've never really looked at it this way. How much do I need to sell? Let's keep adding in. Let's do some other scenarios for the brokerage. Let's say we have a capped commission split. You know you're going to put 20,000 into your brokerage next year. We just take our target taxable income, we add 20,000, okay? So you'll do that. Let's say you have flat fees and you do flat fee per transaction and you think you're going to do 20 transactions and it's 250 per transaction. Here you put 250 times 20 plus your 213, your taxable income, and that's what we get for income before commission split, okay? So I hope everyone is following me here. Again, this is a bigger number. So the number got really big. It's going to get a little bigger. I'm going to wait a second and let everyone try to catch up. If you have a question, ask the question in the control panel under questions. I will help Q&A, help you walk through it. If you've got this number, bear with me. We'll move on in a second. Don't move ahead of me because we're going to talk about some of these concepts as we go. But let's add in what we're paying to our brokerage right now, okay? I don't see any questions coming in. So next page, page 8, we're going to add in our annual business expenses. So as a real estate agent, I have board dues, MLS dues, application fees, renewal fees, errors and omissions every year, insurance and education fees, maybe some marketing fees. I want you to put all of your annual business expenses right here, okay? Annual business expenses right here. Okay. We add all of this up. At the bottom, we're going to have now, we're going to have our income before commission split. So I need to make 266 to pay my brokerage, pay my taxes, and make 160. And now I'm going to add 4,000 in business expenses. So I need to make 270,250 next year. That's my gross commission income. I need to make 270 to pay my dues, to pay my brokerage, to pay my taxes, to bring home 160. So I have 63,000 for discretionary income, to travel, to invest, to save, all of that. Okay. Now we have that number. Okay. We have these two numbers now. Let's break it down. Let's figure out how to get there. That's the fun part. This was the hard part. Now the fun part is figuring out how are we going to get to make this money, because I want to stay in real estate. I don't want to go get a job. You have no idea, with 600,000 realtors on our platform, how many people email us, say, can you take us off Break to Broker? I had to quit, or I had to get a job, right? Like being a realtor is not a job. It's a job. But I hope you guys are following me here. We're going to keep going. We're going to look at our sales volume now. Sales volume is the dollar figure of homes we need to sell to make the money we need to make to bring home to our family. And we're going to do this by taking our gross commission income and dividing it by our average commission. Now, traditionally, we're not supposed to talk about commission structure and real estate, but I'm not a licensed realtor anymore, so I'm going to talk about it. And so we had to relinquish our licenses when we started working with mortgage and title. So let's just say I made on average a 3% commission when I was selling. So I take 3 and I divide it by 100. Okay. And I got this. Then you take your gross commission income and divide it by your commission split. So let's do that. I'm going to take 3 divided by 100. My GCI was 270. I need to make 270,000 next year to make the money I want to bring home to my family. I'm going to divide it by 3%. And now I know I need to sell 9 million in homes. 9 million in homes to bring home 160,000 to my family. Okay. Again, if we're moving fast, it's being recorded. You guys can get the recording from your AmeriFirst partners, and then you can work with them to break this down in slow motion if I'm moving too fast. But hopefully that you guys are good with me right now. Okay. Michelle says, wow, it's interesting to see, right? But we're going to take this piece and we're going to bring it. Now we're going to figure out how to get there. Let's make this a little smaller. 9 million looks like a lot. 270,000 might sound like a lot to you. 9 million sounds like a lot to me. How am I going to do this? We're going to take our target sales volume. We're going to divide it by our average sales price. Okay, target sales volume divided by average sales price. Michelle says this is intimidating. It won't be when we're done. Okay, it's kind of like boot camp. We break you down, we build you back up. Okay, so super intimidating, but this part's really fun. We're going to figure out how to get there. So this is kind of interesting. I want you guys to take your average sales price. Now, you all may have your own average sales price. My average sales price was always a little higher than the average in our marketplace. Some of you may do a lot of investments, so it might be lower, or it might be right on average. If you don't know, you should know your average sales price in your area where you practice. If you don't, we need to talk about this after the call. Know your average sales price. So for me, let's just say Denver's average sales price is 500. It's probably a little higher than that. But let's just say for me, I need to take 9 million. I need to sell 9 million in homes. My average sales price is 500,000. I now know I need to sell 18 homes next year. Starting January 1st, I need to sell 18 homes. Between January 1st and December 31st, 2022, I need to sell 18 homes. Okay. So we're going to put that in our one-page business plan. Okay. We're going to get this out. And now we're in our one-page business plan. 160 is what I want to bring home. To bring home 60,000 to my family for discretionary income, I need to make 270 to pay my brokerage, pay my dues, pay my taxes. And now I know I need to sell 18 homes next year to do all of this. So how the heck are we going to do that? I want to break it down into something that we can look at on a daily basis to achieve our goals. Okay. So Let's look at how many sell sides and how many buy sides we need. We're going to break it down even further. Okay, guys? How many listings do I need to sell and how many buyers do I need to work with in 2022 to make my goals? So what we're going to do is, for me, what you see on page 11, I work with about 60% sellers and 40% buyers. Okay. Nathan and I, my business partner, my team partner, and my partner in Breakthrough Broker, we did about 60% listings, 40% buy sides. Okay. New agents on this call, you typically do more buy sides. Some of you well-rounded agents might just do 50-50. That's great. The next part is a little confusing to people, so just trust me on this. Don't question me on it. I want you to put the same number, that number of homes you need to sell in this spot. For me, it's 18 and 18. If you're confused about it, we have a definitive number we need to sell. We're just going to divide our listing percentage and our buyer percentage by that number, 18, or however many homes you need to sell the homes you need to, the amount of sales volume to make the money you want to make to bring home to your family. So for me, if I take 60% times 18, I need to sell 11 homes next year on the listing side, okay? On the buy side, I need to find 7 buyers and close them. So 11 homes sold for a listing agent, 11 buy sides sold as a buyer's agent, okay? We're breaking it down even further. So now we know how many listings I need to sell and how many buyers I need to sell, okay? Let's break this down even further so that we can digest it on a daily basis so we can succeed here, okay? Listing appointments. Let's talk about this, okay? So we're gonna figure this out. So I need 11 seller side transactions, okay? 11. Now, I realize in your markets, you're probably selling 100% because of low inventory of the homes you list. But this is planning and goal setting. I want to be super conservative, okay? So let's say the market shifts a little bit and goes from absolutely amazing to kind of normal sometime in 2020, where inventory increases. And even though interest rates may go up a little, buyers are back in the market because there's actually homes they can compete on and buy. So let's just say you're selling 90%. Let's say you have an outrageous listing per seller that wants to list it 100,000 over what your comps are at, and you just can't sell it. Let's just say you sell 90%. All right. So I need to sell 11, but I'm only going to have a 90% success rate. So I need to take 12 listings next year to sell 11 homes. Hope you're following me. Again, it's being recorded if you're not. I need to take 12 listings to sell 11 homes. All right. Now let's look at a listing appointments. If I need 12 listings required, what's your success rate when you go to a face-to-face listing appointment? I would argue that the best realtors have about an 80% success rate. All right. Don't tell me 100%. No one wins 100% of your listing presentations. Let's be conservative here. Let's say we're going to win 80% of the time. So how many listing appointments do I need? I need 15 in a year. I need 15 listing appointments next year to bring home $100,000, $160,000 to my family. All right, so let's keep going. We're going to go here. We're going to say 15 listing appointments. Now we're going to divide that by 12, and it's like 1.25. So we're going to round that up to 2. I need 2 listing appointments a month to meet my goals next year of $63,000 in discretionary income, December 31st, to invest, to travel, to save, whatever we want to do, okay? Now we're going to go look at buy sides. I need 7 homes. Disregard this 11 and 7 down here. I don't know what that is. 7 homes. I need to sell 7 homes next year to buyers. And let's say I have about a 75% success rate. You know, low inventory right now. They can't find anything. They get discouraged and go rent. Let's just say 75% success rate. So I need 9 buyers next year. Okay, 9 buy sides. So let's go back here and say, all right, I need 9 buy sides. We divide that by 12, and I need 2 listing appointments a month and 1 buyer a month to pay to make 270,000, to pay my broker, to pay my fees, to pay my taxes, to bring home 160, to make 60,000 of discretionary income to do whatever I want with. Okay. Now, those of you who think we find homes for people, who think we are great negotiators, who think we have the best contracts, I have a question for you. If you have no one to negotiate for, what does it matter? If you have no one to find a home for, what does it matter? If you have no one to be an amazing contract writer or use all your great systems that you bought for, what does it all matter? What's most important in our world at its very core as realtors is you got to find people to buy and sell homes. Everything else is important to be a well-rounded realtor, to get referrals in the future, to have happy customers. Yes. But at its core, we wake up every morning. We should take action every day to find 2 listing appointments a month and 1 buyer a month, period. So now that we have those goals, now that we've set these numbers, okay, the most important part now is the marketing plan. Now, next month on breakthroughbroker.com, we'll be doing a marketing action plan. And maybe if we talk to the AmeriFirst crew, they'll have me back if they would to do this marketing action plan. But the very last page of Breakthrough Broker's marketing success plan is a worksheet, a brainstorm on how to get there. I want you to laser focus on those 2 numbers. For me, if I was still selling real estate, I'd wake up every morning, 2 and 1. What am I going to do today? What actions who am I going to take to coffee? Who am I going to call? What marketing am I going to plan today to get 2 listing appointments this month? Okay. How will that work? So really, really, really cool. Just to give you an example, I need 1 buyer a month. Okay. 1 buyer a month. So maybe I'll do 3 open houses a month. That's 36 open houses in a year. Okay. And in these 3 open houses a month, I'm going to market them really well. I'm going to send a neighborhood postcard out to the neighborhood asking them if they know of anyone that wants to buy this house. Then I'm going to bring a ton of great collateral to my open houses for buyer lead conversion. I'm going to give them items of value, not my business cards, so that when they walk away, they're going to contact me later, even if they don't like that house. And I think if I do that really well, 36 times, that I will find 5 of my 9 buyers. So I'm going to crush that every day. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to work on my open house strategy and my marketing and all that stuff. And I'll find 5 of my 9 buyers. And then after that, I'm going to sell investment postcards to my sphere of influence every other month. Have you thought of investing? Do you know what you could make as, what rental rates are here? Here's a great rental opportunity. And I think I'll get 2 of my sphere of influence to buy investment property. Now I have 7 of my 9. And then I'm going to do some buy versus rent. I'm going to identify amazing neighborhoods that have super high rent, that if they were to buy a home, it would be way better than paying $2,800 a month in rent. So I'm going to send postcards and letters and Facebook advertising to that neighborhood, rent versus buy. And I think I'm going to find 3 or 4 more. Okay. So I just shattered my 9 with 3 marketing tactics that I work on every day. Same thing with the seller side. I'm going to find my marketing strategy to get 2 listing appointments a month. I'm going to do what's your home worth posts. I'm going to send my sphere of influence, what's your home worth. I'm going to send a geographic farm, what's the equity, do you know what you could do with the equity in your home? Send a kid to college, buy an investment property, whatever it may be. Okay. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to find my strategy to get 2 listing appointments every month. So that's what we're going to focus on now. I hope you guys found this interesting, helpful. I hope that I was able to help one person on this call sell bring home what they want to bring home to their family next year. That's what we're passionate about. I hope we get to work more with AmeriFirst through some of this stuff over the course of the next year or 2. And that was your business planning workshop. We got it done 35, 40 minutes. You guys should be ready to rock and roll.
Well, I want to hear from Michelle to see if she's still intimidated. And she said thank you, but Michelle, I know you felt a little intimidated when the numbers were really big, but how'd you feel at the end? Oh, hopefully Michelle just said thank you, and off she went. She went to go take care of that business plan.
Right.
Ron, what were your thoughts?
So again, Eric and I have known each other for a while, and again, I'm an ex real estate guy like Eric, and I think one of the things that we'd like you to kind of walk away on behalf of AmeriFirst is the value of partnerships, right? The value of connecting with a mortgage partner, and it's the difference between being a vendor and being a real partner. And I think the exercise is so valuable, and it doesn't stop here after 45 minutes. The value is continuing to have the mortgage professional speak with and to their real estate partners and continue to say, what do we do together? How do we do some of these things so that we can basically both win? And so I hope that's really part of what, as some of you are sitting together with mortgage professional and real estate agent together, that's really what the message is. How do we both win together? So anyway, and thank you, Eric, because nobody does business planning like you do. So thank you for that.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me, and I hope we do a lot more together over the year. And we're here. I really appreciate the opportunity. So hopefully it was helpful for some realtors. Hopefully your originators take this and leverage it throughout the year. To all the originators on the call, don't. You can still do this in March, April, May, June. We haven't. I would still say 90% of your agent contacts may not have done their plan yet. So leverage this.
No, and Eric, let me tag on to that. I mean, this should not be a one-shot deal. This should not be a November, December thing. Just like you do your taxes one time a year in April, you should do this quarterly, right? You should pull it out. You should readjust it. The market changes, things change. Absolutely. This should be something you commit to do on a regular basis. And do it throughout the year. So it's actually a great point. It's a great point.
All right, guys. Thank you.
I'd like to, before we wrap up, I'd just like to get Doug Long and co-founder Mark Jones in. If I think Mark's still with us.
Hey, by the way, I think Michelle Horn is actually on. Is Michelle Horn on?
No, I'm still here. I just finally figured out how to unmute it, and I was like, okay.
Oh, it's awesome.
Sorry, guys.
I saw you in there. So you feeling good about what you learned?
I am. I'm trying to absorb it all because I want to take this back to my agent partner. She's out for a couple of days, but I'm thinking about the future for the two of us, how I can bring her, catapult her while I'm building my own business. So I'm really excited.
Well, I appreciate you jumping on and being involved, because this to me, Eric, is without a doubt what we're really focused on is business planning with our agents. Not only, you're doing it from our customer side, which is the real estate agent, and how we help build their business, because we need to know as much as we can about their business in order to bring value. And I think what you've just done is brought a substantial business planning tool to the team. And it's our job to actually create activities after this business planning is done to help increase the value, actually exceed everybody's business plan, right? So as our loan officers attaching in with our agents in the business planning, we need to figure out the activity plan right after that, so that we are making sure that we're doing it. And I agree with Ron. It's a quarterly discipline. Absolutely. We have 3 or 4 big teams here in Orlando that I get involved in the quarterly reviews with each one of them, because it's good for me, but it's also great for them, because they love the accountability. They love, because they're building businesses. They're doing 1,000, 2,000 units a year, and they need to, we thrive off each other. So this is such a great methodology of how you do it, and it's just starting from where the goal is, and I love it. That's how we do it, by the way, in the mortgage side too. We just
I know you guys are a little more dialed in on that.
Yeah. So awesome, bro.
Doug, I didn't know you were in Orlando. I'm speaking out there in March, so maybe we'll
we definitely need to get together. Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right.
Mark?
So Eric, thank you. I'll tell you what I heard right off the jump. The first thing that came out of your mouth when you asked, how many people planned, and you got the hands and all that, the number winnowed down to 10%. And, we think in terms in the sales side of the Pareto principle, which is 20% of the people do 80% of the work. And I would argue that in real estate and in real estate finance, it's more like 10 and 90. And so what I heard you say is by doing this, our realtor partners are putting themselves in that top 10% who are going to do 90%. So it's so important to plan like this so that you're not, you're just swimming out there without a direction. You've got a way to go, a path to go, and to have something to follow is amazing. So thank you for sharing that with our team and for their realtor partners. We really appreciate it. Got a lot out of it.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys too. Thank you. Everyone have a great holiday and a happy new year. And hopefully I'll connect with you guys soon. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you very much.
Indeed.
I appreciate it.
Happy
Thank you, Eric.
holidays to you, Eric. Appreciate your time.
Of course.
All right, guys, we're going to let Eric go. Jessica and I had talked off air a little bit about keeping this line open for a minute, but we've got 20 minutes. We had a little snafu on some invitations that went out for a 2 o'clock invite. So we could probably, unless you guys want to wrap up anything else, we can shut this down, Jessica, and then maybe at 2 o'clock or a couple minutes before 2, you and I can come back on. I just want to make sure if there's anybody that saw that 2 o'clock, we get their emails and we get all the information so we can get the recording out to them. So we'll do that. Any final thoughts, guys?
I mean, this is the simplest thing I've ever seen in my life in terms of being able to utilize a tool that you can go on the website, has an interactive PDF on the business planning, download it and do it right on your iPad. I was just looking at my iPad. I was like, I could do this really easy with my agent partners, right? And go through it with them. And it's just great.
Yeah,
Great
sometimes the simplest tools are the best because
absolutely.
It gives you great, powerful information without having to do a lot of homework.
And hold yourself accountable. I mean, it breaks it down so simply, right? Two a month and man, I hit my goals. So good stuff. All right, guys. Ron?
Well, one of the things that I'll ship to you that you can actually send out, I've got a form because sometimes when he was going through all the expenses and things you got, I have a document, right, that actually lays out all of the expenses that a real estate person would have. And it's actually done by the amount of business that you do, by the percentages. And I'm happy to send that out so that you can actually just do this easy and say, if I'm earning somewhere between this category or that category, here's actually the kind of the percentage of what my expenses are. And so, I've actually used this, and I've got this from some of the great real estate folks in the marketplace. So I'm happy to send that out to you.
Send it with it. Yeah. Another tool.
Happy to do that. Yeah, the more that we can fill in.
I can see that being the place where people would stumble the most, right? And
that's exactly even me. Yeah. So I've got this, and you can just look and say, I'm in this category of 100 or 200,000 or $500,000, and this is approximately the percentage of what those expenses are. And I think it'll be helpful for a lot of folks, and I'll ship that through to Craig, and he can pass that along to you.
Awesome. Good. Thank you, buddy.
That sounds great. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining. We will, Jessica, let's get about 5 minutes till you and I will kick this back up, and we'll see if anybody jumps in at 2 o'clock. We'll make sure to grab their emails and get the recording out. So have a great rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Have a great holiday season. And thank you so much for joining. And we'll see you back here when we get Eric back, and hold some accountability and hold us all accountable for all of those business plans we're doing today. So take care, everybody.
Bye.